And here's the index. And firstly, I want you to talk about what are SDGs, and next is why are MDGs. I'm sorry, this is a mistake for me. It's what are MDGs and SDGs in the world and in Japan and your daily life. And finally, what can you do? I want to show some examples about what you can do for the achievement of SDGs. So what are SDGs? SDGs are composed of 70 goals, and also this SDGs are known as the global goals, and this goal is aiming for ending poverty and protecting the planet and ensuring the peace and prosperity. And the goals are interconnected each other. I mean, number 1 and number 7 is highly connected to each other, and also 8 and 9, and all of them are connected to each other. And by knowing these goals, these global goals, people in the world can live comfortably, because this goal is called no poverty, which it means ending poverty. Nowadays in this world there is a lot of people who are concerned about poverty. So by ending this poverty, people in the world can live comfortably. I mean this sentence. I want you to watch the video, which is created by Japanese government. This video has Japanese description.
By the year 2030, what will our planet and society look like? We must overcome a variety of global issues to realize a prosperous and vibrant future. It is up to us to decide the future. SDGs now! Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, are the common goals adopted in September 2015, which the 193 UN member states are committed to achieve by 2030. The SDGs are for the benefit of countries and people throughout the world, including developed countries. The 17 goals are interconnected and need to be addressed simultaneously. Moreover, they require everyone's power and participation, including those of national governments, local administrations, companies, and citizens. So, what can we do to implement the SDGs? SDGs now! Shimokawa town of Hokkaido is a small town with only about 3,300 residents. But the town is now transforming itself into a sustainable society through SDGs by promoting forestry business, energy self-sufficiency, and measures against aging of their population.
地域にはさまざまな課題があるわけでありますけれども、解決する上で SDGs というのは共通の言語ではないかと思っております。
SDGs now! Businesses, too, can contribute greatly to the achievement of the SDGs. Sumitomo Chemical Company Limited developed OliSetNet, a mosquito net with insecticide incorporated into the filaments, and offer them in developing countries.
感染症対策は途上国の雇用や教育、ジェンダーの改善など関連し合うさまざまな社会課題の解決にもつながっています。
SDGs now! The SDGs aim to realize a society in which everyone can play an active role in society without being left behind. The NPO Shinsei engages in supporting people with disabilities in areas struck by the Great East Japan earthquake.
SDGs が接着剤となり、さまざまな立場の皆さんとパートナーシップを組みながら、障害のある方の活躍の場づくりと福島復興に取り組んでます。
SDGs now! SDGs can create shared value through business. SDGs can drive regional vitalization. SDGs can realize a society in which everyone, including women and youth, can proactively engage. A wide range of activities to implement the SDGs have already begun in Japan. Only have the power to transform the future of Japan and the world. SDGs now! Together, now is the time to take a vital step toward a sustainable future.
As you can see in this video, so SDGs are very important for people in particularly in Japan, because you are living in Japan now. So a lot of companies are doing something for achievement of SDGs. So this video shown the things that what companies doing, and this picture is kind of like similar. This picture is similar to the picture which I show in the first PowerPoint. And SDGs has a 70 goals, but and this pictures, this 8 goals are called MDGs, and MDGs stands for Millennium Development Goals, which means, well, Millennium Development Goals, and this object is for poverty and deadly disease and primary education, and this was set in from 2000 to 2015, about 50 years, and this progress is in reducing income poverty and providing access to water, driving down child mortality, and especially it made huge strides or progress in combating HIV or AIDS and other treatable diseases. But as you can see, there is no achievement for environment. So that's the key. And what are the differences? MDGs has 8 goals and 21 targets, and it's so simple and clear. But SDGs has 17 goals and 169 targets. It's comprehensive and interrelated. And another, goals for developing countries. But SDGs are goals for all nations, and it's so universal. And it's totally. And the reason why SDGs are replaced into MDGs, there are still some goals which remain unachieved in MDGs. For example, education and material and child health and sanitation. So, and international environment has significantly changed, like environmental pollution and climate change and frequent natural disasters. And this is a very concern in the current world. So, for excuse me, I want you to look at this video too.
In the year 2000, leaders from 189 countries agreed on a vision for the new millennium. They wanted to end extreme poverty in all of its forms. So they made a list of 8 goals, called the Millennium Development Goals, and they wanted to achieve these goals in 15 years. One of the leading organizations working to fulfill these goals has been the United Nations Development Program, or UNDP. We're present in more than 170 countries and territories. We championed the goals so that people everywhere would know what they were and how people could do their part. We funded projects that helped fulfill the goals. We helped countries accelerate SDG progress by breaking down the silos and working across sectors. We acted as scorekeeper, helping countries to track progress. As a result, the number of people that live on less than $1.25 per day has dropped by more than half. The number of primary school-age kids who don't go to school, down by almost half. The number of people getting a life-saving treatment for HIV increased by over 15 times. Child mortality, down by almost half. As much progress as we have made together, there's still a lot more to do. Over 800 million people are still living on less than $1.25 a day. 1 in 9 people on our planet goes to sleep hungry each night. Deforestation remains alarmingly high in many countries. Oceans are becoming more acidic, threatening food security and marine ecosystems. And about 1 of every 6 adults in the world is illiterate. 2/3 of them are women. We think those are tough numbers, and so do leaders from the countries where we work. So in September 2015, they agreed on a new set of goals to help finish the work we all started in 2000. The new goals are called the Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs. We have made significant progress in the last 15 years, and we think there's plenty of room for hope, for action, in the next 15 years. Today, the world is more connected by technology. We know more about how to balance the 3 pillars of sustainable development: social progress, economic growth, and environmental protection. However, our climate is changing. Our planet is transforming, and there are more people on Earth than ever before. We at UNDP believe everyone can have enough of what they need, living within our planetary boundaries, and we are working around the world to make this happen. Our goals to reach by 2030 are to eradicate extreme poverty, protect our environment, and much more. UNDP has 50 years of experience working with countries to make this a more prosperous, healthy, inclusive, and sustainable world. Join us.
So, the next is SDGs in the world. This part is kind of like examples what the world are doing. And first, the reason why SDGs are powerful is a numerical target. It's monitored periodically in United Nations Forum every year on July. So all nations are checking their progresses periodically, frequently, every year. So they can know what countries are doing well in each year. Second, there is a big difference between OECD countries and African countries. Well, this is kind of like programs between OECD countries. Well, I mean, this is a European countries and African countries. European countries can achieve their goals very well, but African countries can't, because African countries has no access to know these goals or something like that. Finally, any countries has not achieved the target 14 in 2019. Number 14 target is that's life below water. This means life below water. Well, it is important for us to protect sea animals like fish or アザラシとか something like that. So, but there is no country who are achieving this kind of goals. So, this is kind of like a program of SDGs. And how about Japan? Japan is lacking number 5. This is gender equality, and number 12, responsible consumption and production, and 13, climate action, and 17, partnerships for goals. Maybe you can understand this and this and this, because gender equality, gender is not known in Japan. Like, what's your gender? What is your gender? Maybe you ask in daily lives, like when we first met, you frequently ask, well, how old are you? Or forget about it. And responsible consumption and production. There is a too much vinyl plastic bags to when you buy a product in the store. So it's a too much consumption, and it's not responsible consumption and production. And Japanese companies are now acting for SDGs hardly, and also many universities are now participating in SDGs, like Okayama University. And also in Ineyama City, the mayor of this city, Takuro Yamada, are working for the environment following SDGs instruction. He said so. I don't know, he will. And what can you do for achieving the SDGs? And save electricity by turning off completely when they are not in use. And don't print too much. Use your device. Most people who are living in Japan has a smartphone or something like personal computers or laptops. So it's not useful to print out the documents or handouts. So please use your device and buy minimally packaged goods. And install a solar panel if you can, and buy funny fruit. I mean, in Japan, the sellers can't sell the funny look fruit because it's kind of like messy or something like that. So you can buy funny fruit by yourself. So by buying the funny fruit, you can reduce the amount of the thrown away fruit or vegetables, and stop using the car. Use public transportation. Car exhausts a lot of carbon dioxide or other harmful gases. So by using public transportation, you can contribute it to the environment. That's it. Thank you for listening.